Good morning, good morning. What a beautiful morning it is. Coffee and Sports. We are live, baby, on Wide Network. And I'm joined with two of the most wonderful, hardworking gentlemen in this group, man. Mo, how you feeling today, brother?
I'm feeling blessed like I always do. Appreciate everybody that's joining us. What's up, Carmike? What's good, Will? Let's get into it.
Will, what's up, man?
How you doing? How you doing? Good to be here. Good to be here after a great night at WWE Wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so we gonna get straight right into it, man. WrestleMania 41, man. Let's see what we got going on here. It concluded last night, and Mr. Cena himself has made us one of the 17 world title on one of the biggest stages, man. Will, talk to me about this match, man. What was it? Everything it needed to be for the fans.
I thought it was headed that way when it first started. I thought it was going to head its way down to being a good match. Then you saw your boy come out. And when Travis came out there, it was trash from that point. It was trash from that point forward. It didn't really hit on nothing. It was just flat. You can tell it by the fans. It was just flat. I said in the chat, The Rock should have been there. And Brett brought up a good point in the chat too. How if you won't go have him out there tonight, why even use him at all? But I thought it was flat. However, I gotta give the writers credit because if you go back on SmackDown, it was said by John Cena that Cody Rhodes will have to make a choice. You're gonna be with the fans or you're gonna be for yourself. And you saw Cody was with the fans, and that's what caused him to lose that championship. So I gotta give the writers props on that. But overall, once Travis Scott came out there, that match went flat, and I didn't like it. Congrats to Cena. More than likely, he goes to the next pay-per-view in St. Louis as your champion. More than likely against Randy Orton. That's another Bret card that I did agree with. So we'll see. But like I said, it was on its way to being a good match, but at the end of the day, with that ending, it was trash.
Mo, Mo, was this a good match, and did it give the fans where they needed to go, man?
It was a really good match, and until Travis showed up, just ruined the whole match.
Whoa. You didn't like Travis Scott 5-minute entrance in the middle of the match, man?
That was the worst part. Like both wrestlers stopped and they started watching with the fans, and it took this man damn near 20 minutes to get down the aisle because he was taking his sweet time. And I'm like, so why are they watching him? That's how dumb it was. The timing was off.
Oh yeah,
and he ruined what was a very good match. His host, every angle of him was terrible. Look, if you're not going to have The Rock there, then have somebody on the roster who's an actual talent be the person that comes and intervene or something like that. Somebody that could sell it to the fans where you go, yeah, I can see why that would happen. Not someone who knows nothing about wrestling that was awkward and stiff. Like, even when Cody put him in the Cody cutter, that fool looked like he about to choke. Like, that was so awkward and so dumb. Like, Travis Scott ruined what was going to be a really good match.
And it was headed down that way too, Mo. It was heading to it being a good match. And
it was a good match until he showed up.
Yeah, and then he came out there and ruined it. Undertaker could have got to the ring faster than him.
I think the fans thoroughly enjoyed him getting that crossroads in the middle of the ring, man.
I think he ruined the match. Even the fans were like, "This guy, like what?" Like if you didn't know it, if you didn't know any better, you would have said Vince must be calling the shots because that's how bad a moment that was.
No pop at all, none.
And
the match is important, and as match as important as that,
it was so bad they might get a rematch tonight.
Yep.
Get a rematch tonight. So CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, man, as Seth took the match over, man, and little help. Mo, how you feel about this match, man? Did it turn out the way it was supposed to for the fans?
Well, so I can't speak for all the fans, but I think most of us at Wire to Wire, we picked Seth Rollins to win. We thought Seth Rollins was going to be the kind to come out on top. And even though you kind of knew who was going to win, I loved the way it happened. Like, I didn't know how it was going to happen, but the way they did it was so much better. so much more theater. It was look. I think it was a 5-star match. It was a great match. I lost count of how many false finishes, momentum swings. If you're in a match like that and you're one of the two guys that loses, you're still a winner because it was that great a match.
Well,
You knew something. You knew something was going to happen when Paul Heyman is the main fixture of the match. You knew something was going to happen with him. I didn't see him going to Seth Rollins' side. I didn't see that with that conflict between CM Punk and Roman Reigns, and that made it even better. So shout out to what they did with that. You can make an argument that should have been your night 2 main event.
my question is why people keep trusting this fat sneak, man? Why are people putting their faith in this guy of him being ringside supporting him? Then he just switch at the like that on him.
This is true. Heyman has got a history of kicking guys' backs in when he's done with them, right? That's what he does. He loves you till he's got no more use for you.
But understand too, though. He has been the best manager since Bobby the Brain Heenan. You have to look at it from that standpoint, because no other manager that you can go out and you can go through history and look. No one can, as a manager standpoint, could talk as well as Paul Heyman. So he is an asset to have out there, no matter who he's with, because whoever he's with, he's gonna sell him to the highest level possible and put him over and draw even more attention to whatever match that he's involved in. So he's definitely a value to what he brings. As far as trusting him, you can't trust him as far as you can throw him, but for whatever he brings to the table, you have to take that risk because he could be a difference maker.
Well, that's the thing, though. You can take the risk, but you also have to be aware he's going to kick your back in. That's what he does.
You got to be aware.
That's what he does. Like, yeah, he's a great manager. He's a great microphone. He's great on the mic, a great advocate for any wrestler that he's working with. But at some point, his history dictates he kicks backs in. That's what he does.
Oh, yeah. He's going to turn on you at some point.
So let's turn to one of the most exciting matches. I think was one of the best, man. Mr. Uso and Gunther, man. Mo. This felt like it should have been probably took the Cena and Roll spot, man. As good as that one was, man. Uso had the crowd going, man. They was all behind him. He looked like he's about to be the man in the WWE, man. Mo, talk to me about this match.
So this is the match that I thought potentially could have been a dud, because I really think when you look at their skill sets, they don't really match up. Because Gunther's a slow, methodical, technical wrestler, and Jay's more of an explosive impact move guy. Because Jay doesn't really wrestle. Jay hits you with he hits you with the spear. He's got the Uso splash. He's got the kick. But Jay doesn't do a whole lot of technical things, so I was concerned. But I was pleasantly surprised. It ended up being a really good match. More importantly, the way it ended with Jay going low, I'm not going to splash you just once. I'm going to do it again to make sure you stay down. And then he hit him with his own move with the sleeper hold. That was a perfect ending. So, look, I think that was a great match. I would argue that the triple threat match between the women should have been a main event match.
Will, talk to me about Uso and Gunther, man.
I love that match. It was a very good match. The way it ended shot me with him winning by submission. But I loved it. Now, here's the question. What's going to be the next step? Who's the next in line? Is it going to be Seth?
Yes.
More than likely it will be Seth.
Yes.
And I don't know. Mo, let me ask you this.
You can say Jay's going to have a short championship run.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a short championship run.
You can say
this is the very definition of transitional champion. He ain't gonna be champ long, but it's a feel good moment.
It is. That's exactly what it is. It's a feel good moment. But when you start talking about those top 4 or 5 guys, Jay not holding on to the belt.
He ain't hold on. No. Mm-mm.
I don't know, man. He got the whole WWE behind him, man.
Well,
We've seen that before too.
Right, they're still gonna cheer for him when he gets pinned, but he getting
Yeah, they're
pinned.
gonna cheer for him. They're gonna love him to death when he lose, but he gonna lose. He gonna lose.
All right, man. You ain't got no faith in Uso,
Yeet.
man. Hey, it's all scripted anyway, man. So it all depends on what the WWE got in store for this guy. But I know you want to talk about it, man.
What?
I know you want to talk about Jade and Naomi.
Ooh-wee. Boy, ooh, good Lord. Good Lord have mercy. That woman is like, oh my God. She's like perfect. Perfect. I like that. You knew she was gonna go over. Everybody knew Jade was gonna go over. Ain't nobody think Naomi was gonna win that match. I would have liked to see Naomi win just to see to prolong it out. But y'all know Naomi was gonna win that match. Come on. I mean, Jade was gonna win that match. Come on now. Yeah, exactly, Key. Randy Phillips is one lucky man. We get loud. Get loud, Jade. But I'm waiting, and I think Mo is waiting too. We didn't see it this time around, but at some point, Bianca's turning heel at some point because her as a face is getting stale. She's turning heel at some point, and her and Jade are gonna go at it, and I want to see that.
Mo, how you feel about the Jade and Naomi match?
Beautiful, good Lord.
It was a really entertaining match. Here's the thing, though. That match just showed you how great a performer that Naomi is because she sold Jade. She is the better in-ring talent. She's not the bigger star, but she's the better talent. So she sold Jade. She did a great job of selling Jade. So I don't mind that Jade went over. And I don't think we've heard the last of heel Naomi because I think heel Naomi is really interesting. That match right there was surprisingly better than I thought it would be. It was actually a really good match. I didn't think it was going to be that good. So shout out to both ladies.
So regardless of the results, the fact that a TNA talent who didn't come from the WWE received such a massive ovation from the crowd, man. Joe Hendry. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
No, you got it right. Everybody loves
right.
Joe Hendry.
You straight. Everybody loves Joe.
That man looks like he's an absolute star. What we think about Mo? Come on, talk to me. Orton and Hendry.
Oh, I love that Joe Hendry was the guy that came out. There was rumors that they signed him or he'd be part of it, but he's still in TNA. But look, I thought Joe Hendry, even though he lost, he had a great WrestleMania moment. And you have to realize a TNA wrestler, let alone the TNA champ, being put in that spot is a big moment for TNA, right?
Yeah, it is.
Like
They
it's
needed
a
that.
huge. They needed that. It's a huge moment for TNA. It's something that Vince McMahon would have never done. So this is definitely a different time, a different
Vince
era.
petty as hell.
And the way it ended was awesome too, because Joe Hendry made a great move, but he made the mistake of doing what he does sometimes, stopped the pose and got caught.
Will, talk to me, man. Orton and Hendry.
That pose be killing me. That pose be killing with that smile on there. He be killing me. Hey,
Wow, yo.
It be killing me, boy. But good moment for him. Particularly at the end, he took that RKO like a champion too, for real. So I got to give him that. Also, shout out to Randy because Randy looked great. He looked fabulous. I want to see what they're gonna do with him. And they did a little pose on him at the end too. That was kind of funny. But overall, I thought Joe Hendry, for what the match was, I thought Joe did a great job. And shout out to Randy too.
Agreed.
So what do we see the future of Hendry in the WWE happening?
You might see him one more time, maybe do something in NXT, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
One more time, man. He got a lot of love at WrestleMania, man.
He next for Cena. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, that's
But
funny.
I like Joe.
I do too. He's got a great gimmick too. I love it.
Yeah, he does.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all see him stepping up in the WWE being a big star at some point?
I don't know if there's a spot for him right now. When you look at
Cena leaving, you heard Key? Cena out of there. So he next up.
Cena might be out of there, but you still got Seth. You got Seth. You got Punk. You got Roman. Drew McIntyre's lurking around. Like there's no shortage of top stars. So I don't know where Joe Hendry would fit.
Damian Priest is still there. So
Look, Dom just went over. Dom just became
Dom
the champ, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
I don't know where there'll be a spot for Joe Hendry.
he won't have a spot.
Speaking of Dom, come on, Mo, talk to me, man. New Intercontinental Champion, man. How you feel about this?
Arguably my favorite moment of the night. Just I was like, there's no way they're going to let Breaker get pinned. But when you're the champ and there's a fatal four-way, the likelihood of you winning are slim and none.
Yep.
But I like the way they did it because Balor and Dom turned on each other, and Dom was like, "I'm about winning this," so he took out Balor and got the pin. And I love it, good, because the thing about Dom is that guy that people they can't stand him. Dom as the champ, the heat he's already got an insane heat level. It's going to be that much higher.
Will, talk to me about Dom Mysterio.
I like it too. Like he said, he got a good pop. I'm liking everything that Dom's doing right now. He's doing it the way you suppose. He's doing it old school style. And I like it. He might be IC champ for a minute with the way they got him set up right now.
I think so.
So yeah, I'm loving it,
Hey,
and I'm glad he got
a
it.
little round over Uso, who got the WWE behind him, man. You give a Dom no more.
But understand this. He's got ever since he left Rhea, he's had heat. He's had heat ever since.
Mhm.
And that you leave Rhea to go to Live, he still got heat, bro. This dude is doing it the right way. And it's all legit heat because can't nobody stand this dude. He's doing it the right way. Like I say, he might be IC champ for a minute. Yeah, and Adjustment Day may break up. And if that happens, then the sky will be the limit for Dom.
And don't forget, it's the IC champion, which is a prestigious belt.
Yep.
But Jey Uso's holding the heavyweight championship. He has a lot more heavy hitters that are going to be coming for him. Like where Dom is at, you're talking about mid card guys. Dom is in a safer zone.
Logan Paul winning one of the biggest matches of his career, man. Where do we see Paul going now, Will?
I'm not sure on this. I was sort of kind of torn on it because AJ's the vet. Logan's the up and comer. I don't know where Logan go from here, to be honest. AJ's going to the Hall of Fame. We all know that. That's what he is. But I'm not sure where you take Logan. I'm not sure.
Will, Mo.
I think with Logan Paul, the question really is, are you going to make him a push to either go after the U.S. belt or the IC championship, or are you going to give him a bigger pop and send him up from one of the bigger belts?
Right, and that's what I'm not sure of.
Yeah, he's kind of in purgatory. He seems like he's slightly above going after the U.S. belt. He actually held the belt already.
Mm-hmm.
So for him, it would seem like the next step is to pursue one of the bigger belts, but that is a crowded field. So Will's right. I don't know which way they go with him. Maybe we'll find something out this week. Maybe he tries to start a feud with Jey Uso, and maybe he goes after Jey Uso's belt.
Now, if he wins Money in the Bank, I like that, Gene, because that gives him a definite direction that you can pivot to. So I like that.
Women's title match. Will, come on.
Told y'all was gonna win. I told y'all. Look, the thing is this, and I get where Mo was coming from with what he was saying last week, and I get that because she's kind of in Shinsuke Nakamura's case to where she can't really get over on the mic because of the language barrier, so to speak. And I get that part, and that is part of it, your mic skills, and I understand that part. But her in-ring, man, and the fact that she was the underdog, you can't beat that. Plus, I think Rhea and Bianca, they're gonna end up moving on. If they don't do anything against one another, I think they're gonna go on to bigger pastures.
Mo, how we feel about this match with the women's title?
Sometimes when you're wrong, you're like really disappointed. The way Io winning, I actually felt good about that. Like,
Yeah.
And look, it was set up weeks ago that throughout this process, Bianca and Rhea were focused on each other, and they thought of Io as an afterthought. That was the storyline, and I think eventually throughout the match, it played out that way. too many times they just thought of her as an afterthought. Kind of like the men's championship, and it cost them both in the long run. Look, it was a great match. Io was a terrific in-ring performer. I think it's great that she had a WrestleMania moment winning that huge match, but I'm willing to bet she won't hold on to the belt much longer.
I think you'll see Liv come back in the title picture. I really think you'll see Liv come back. I know she just lost, but I think you'll see Liv come back in that title picture and take it back. I really think so. Because she's over as well. And I agree with Mo. Transitional champion after this.
Stratton versus Flair. Mo, this was one of the.
Yeah.
You got an 8th grade match, man. How did you feel about this women's match?
You know what? I didn't think it was going to be a good match. I thought it was a pretty good match, but you could tell if you really paid attention, Charlotte Flair was really trying to hurt Tiffany Stratton. She was, even though she knew she had a job to do and put her over, she was going to make her pay for it to put her over. Like, she put her over, but she beat her down. I thought Charlotte looked a little bit rusty. She looked stiff at times. Overall, I thought it was a good match. And if you're going bottom line, she had one job. The job was to put Tiff over. She did that.
Will, talk to me. Stratton and Flair.
Stratton was green. She's still green. You could tell that she's green. She was making mistakes out there. She looked winded, particularly toward the end of that match. She looked winded. She can barely get Charlotte up on her shoulders. She looked very winded and very green. I gotta give it to Charlotte Flair. She put her over, much like she did Rhea Ripley a couple years ago. But Tiffany Stratton is still green, and she's got a lot of work to do, both for her in-ring and her cardio. Because, like I said, she was winded out there last time, particularly toward the end of that match. She didn't look very sharp. So give Charlotte a props. She did put her over. That was her job. But Tiffany's got some work to do.
And I don't think Tiff is going to stay a face much longer. Tiffany Stratton is a lot better as a heel. It's just some people are natural heels. She's one of them. She's not good as a face. She's much better as a heel. She looked awkward out there at times as well. Like Will said, between the two wrestlers, Charlotte's got 12, 13 years on her, and Charlotte looked better than she did late in the match. So yeah, I think you can make an argument that Tiffany Stratton, maybe they gave her too big a push too fast.
I think so too.
LA Knight.
Because you saw her conditioning issues before she even hit the main roster.
Will, talk to me, man, about LA Knight and Jacob, man. Was this a good match, man? How'd you feel about it? Were we wearing that with the fans?
I'm just happy to see Jacob get that win, because I know Debbie. Listen. I'm not hating on LA Knight. I'm not hating on LA Knight, but I'm just glad to see
you didn't sound too excited, but yeah, I'm just glad
glad to see Jacob get that one. Because look, WWE and the fans are high on Jacob. And if you follow Jacob from MLW, tremendous talent. He's a young competitor. I'm glad to see he get that win. I thought he was going to lose the match at some point to keep Knight as champion, but he got that win. Well deserved. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do with him later on. Look, see, the company is high on him. They're very high on him. So let's see what he does. As far as LA Knight, he's an older dude. He'll probably go back down to stay where he is, if not a little bit on the lower realm of the mid-card realm. So I want to see what they do with Jacob.
Talk to me, Mo. Was this a WrestleMania worthy match, man? Like, how'd you feel about this?
It was for me just because LA Knight lost, so I'm cool. Long as he lost, it's a WrestleMania night. It's worthy of a WrestleMania night. You know what I mean? Like I feel like LA Knight should be wrestling Sheamus or something. I don't want to see him in a main event.
Man.
Like, he's the most overrated, corniest wrestler. He stinks.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody literally said, you can act like the Macho Man, but just say something different, right? But he literally ripped off the Macho Man's persona to a degree, and he's just not the Macho Man. He's so corny. It was. I love Jacob Fatu as a talent, But it could have been a popcorn vendor. It could have been the bellboy. Anybody. So as long as the LA Knight loses.
Dang, he said the popcorn vendor. Dang. Good Lord.
The disrespect is crazy. The New Day.
Woo.
They may not rock anymore, but guess what? They are champions. Mo, how'd you like this? The New Day versus the War Raiders.
I actually think this might have been the worst match of WrestleMania.
You got a
It was
point.
because
You got a point.
nobody cared about the War Raiders as champions. Nobody cared.
He got
Like-
a point.
Like during the live watch along, there was people saying which one is Ibar, which one is, and nobody cared because
It's a art
nobody
match.
nobody didn't care. It was so the New Day winning. It was like okay because nobody cared about the War Raiders, and I think it's great for the New Day because yes, they can say they're 12-time tag champs. That's a big deal, but I think they're going to be transitional champions, right? They're not going. I don't think they're going to hold the belt for like 400 or 500 days. I don't see that.
Well, War Raiders New Day, man. How we feel about it, man?
That was no WrestleMania worth of match. That was a dart match at a house show. That's all that was. That's all that was. Dart match at a house show. That's all that was.
Who would you replace? Who would you replace in this? You would replace the War Raiders with what tag team?
Anybody but them because they have because that
Yeah,
team,
the champs.
that team, the Warriors, Mo. Ever since they've been there, what buildup has they ever had toward any match? Even when they won the titles, what serious buildup have they ever had? I never liked that team. To put the belts on New Day, I think it's just to get those tag team titles over or try to get them over. But I agree with Mo. That's going to be another transitional champion, another transitional championship. And again, congrats New Day for winning it. But to me, and I may be wrong for saying it, and I might get some hate, but to me, for them to win without Big E, it ain't the same.
Let me
It
ask
ain't
you
the
this,
same.
Will. Does anybody really still care about tag team matches for real? I'm talking like as big as it was back with the Rock and Sock and stuff like that, man. Does anybody really care about connections like that?
They need a team that could come in there, like early Harlem Heat and WCW. You remember Mo? Back the tag teams back then were dead until Harlem Heat came in and started running Rough Shot. Then once they started running Rough Shot, then you saw other teams try to step up. That's when he put up against the Steiner Brothers, brought the Road Warriors back. They need a team that can come in and put those tag team championship belts on the map. I don't see a team that can do that right now. So until they do that, tag team championship may be an afterthought.
That's a good point. I agree with that. You need a tag team that you can sell in the WWE universe to the fans that's just dominant, where everybody's like, who can beat them, who can stop them, like, and you believe it every time they win.
Yep.
I don't think there's a team that's dominant out there. When Will was speaking, I was thinking of the Steiner Brothers. I was thinking of Harlem Heat. I was thinking of the Legion of Doom. You don't have those kind of tag teams right now.
To a lesser extent, Sting and Lex Luger. You didn't see them team up a whole heck of a lot in WCW, but it was still a classic tag team that could win at any point.
Do y'all think they can reinvent the wheel, like I was saying with the Rock and Sock or the Hardy Boys, or how the Generation Next had a whole crew that could possibly win tag team matches? They was rolling together. The NWO had a tag team at players who all mesh well. Do you really think they can reinvent it and make it like it used to be?
I think Triple H and Creative, I think they want to build back up the tag team division. They just haven't found the right stars, right? Like maybe what you do is you have to take two single stars who are, let's say, slightly above mid-card, but not quite at the top of the roster. And maybe you can put those two together and make that as a sell. Something like that might work. But right now, when you look, the tag team division, to me, it just doesn't have any star. Like they have stars, but they don't have any real star power.
I thought the Street Profits was going to be that team, but didn't work out that way.
They're not. I like the Street Profits, but you're right. It feels like they have a ceiling. Like they can only go. You know what it is? old boy's ready to be like a singles.
He is. Montez is ready.
Yeah.
He's ready. Yeah.
Montez is ready to go out there and win like the U.S. belt or like he's that dude. He's ready to step out from under the shadows.
Yep.
But yeah, I really think they like when I look at the women's tag team championship, I think it's more compelling than the men's.
Oh yeah, facts.
So as a whole, real quick, give me your grades for the whole event for the weekend for WrestleMania. Mo, what's your grade on this?
Overall, I give it an A. I enjoyed it. I thought, look, the opening match, it set the tone with the women. That was fantastic. I mean, from the jump, that could easily be the match of WrestleMania. I mean, the triple threat between Rollins and Reigns and Punk, that was great. But I would say the women's triple threat was every bit as good. Like there were so many tremendous matches. For me, it's an A. I give it a solid A. I was disappointed. I was disappointed with last night's main event. No, I take that back. I was good with it until Travis Scott showed up.
I don't know. I don't think too many people really like the main event. Rhodes and Cena. They said it was a little dry. But Will, give me your grade on WrestleMania 41 as a whole.
I give it a B. I didn't like that New Day Viking Raiders tag match. I didn't like Travis Scott appearance coming out there just being a straight jackass. I didn't like that at all. But there were some very good high points too. But overall, I will give it a B. Oh, and the one thing we didn't talk about, and I want to get Mo's thoughts on this. Becky Lynch is back.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting moment, and it's funny that as soon as she came back, they didn't hesitate to put her and Lyra over to be the tag champs, which is interesting because if she's going to be a tag champ, my guess is somebody's going to make her drop the belt, right?
Yep.
I think that's going to happen sooner or later. It might be Liv.
Might be. My only issue, and she carried the women's division for what? Past maybe 12 months, maybe longer. So I think since 2019. They cut Bailey out the show. And that sort of kind of made me a little upset because if you look at the body of work that she's done, she took some time off, came back, one of the best competitors on the women's roster, took some time off, came back with Damage Control, took some time off, came back, did more work with Nia Jax, took a little break, came back, did the work with Roxanne Perez that went absolutely nowhere. So hopefully they do something with her because she is one of the horsewomen. So
let's switch gears here, man. WrestleMania was great, man. But Game 1s is in the books in the NBA. It was pretty much as it's expected to be for a lot of people, man. But we don't really look into Game 1. We look around Game 2, Game 3, see what coaches make adjustments and what happens, man. First round, Pacers Bucks. Will 117-98, man. Giannis did everything he was doing, and yet it wasn't enough. Dame coming back Game 2. How we feel about it? What adjustments they make? Can they actually beat the Pacers?
No. I just think the pace and the youth, the athleticism is going to side on the Pacers. If they're going to make them run, is Giannis going to get his? Of course, but Giannis needs help. He's going to need people to come along with him.
Got Dame coming Game 2, man.
He's going to need some help.
Dame Dollar.
He's going to need some help. Dame Dollar better come back because he's going to need some help because he can't depend on that trash can Kyle Kuzma. He can't depend on him. That's a walking trash can, a walking cone. And I just the Pacers got this, man. I think that I don't see the Bucks coming back. If they do, it will be a scheme. It will be probably Doc Rivers coaching that may bring them back in terms of slowing the ball down, trying to slow down that pace, make them playing more half court sets. But I think the Pacers, they're younger, they're more athletic. I think they take it.
Mo, how you feel about the Bucks Pacers, man? The Bucks look outmatched.
Look, we came into this series knowing that Milwaukee is the most unathletic team in the NBA, and they're also an old team. Like if you watch Game 1, the Pacers played Brook Lopez off the floor. They couldn't even play him. Couldn't even play him.
Nope.
So I'm not sold on the Pacers winning the series outright. Could the Bucks get back in it? Sure. It literally does come down to the pace of the game.
Hot shots right there, boy.
It really does come down to the pace of the game. This is about Milwaukee's transition defense. It's also about their offense. I thought Giannis getting his isn't a shock. What I was disappointed in is I thought Kevin Porter Jr. got to the basket at will, but he didn't finish well. He did not finish at the basket. I don't expect anything from Kyle Kuzma, so he's not a disappointment to me. He's just Kyle Kuzma. He is what he is.
22 minutes of nothing, and nothing.
Tony Snell is not been redeemed.
He got some good cardio. I mean, I'm sure
Tony
he's
Snell,
fit.
you have not been redeemed, my friend.
He's fit. I would say this though. I don't view the Pacers as an elite team. That's why I think the Bucks can get back in the series. Like the Bucks do have at least a superstar on their roster. The Pacers don't even have a superstar. So I don't know why you couldn't get back into that series.
We already got into this, man. The Pistons won one without having a superstar, man. They had very well meshed group.
Right.
The Pacers look well meshed as a group.
Right, but the Pacers aren't the Pistons. Like we're not gonna make that leap and go, these Pacers.
That's true too.
Match up with those Pistons.
Come on, Mo. They lost by 20, and Giannis gave them 36. That's bad business,
right? But that's bad business because of the pace of the game. Like if you're gonna run and it's gonna be up and down, then they're getting swept. It's that simple.
That's exactly what the Pacers gonna do. They're gonna make the boys run.
If they're going to run, then they're gonna sweep them. It's as simple as that. But if Milwaukee's going to make it more of a grinded out game, that's a completely different series. So I'm not surprised that the Pacers took game 1. The Bucks didn't come there to sweep on the road. They came there to get a game on the road. They can get game 2. I think this is a long series. I don't think this is a short series at all.
Clippers lost by 2 to the Nuggets, man. I was surprised. James Harden actually showed up in the playoff game at 32 points and 11 assists, man. But they had 20 turnovers and still lost by 2. Now, is this bad for the Nuggets that the Clippers had 20 turnovers and still only lost by 2, which means they still got their coaching to adjust for next game? Mo, how do we feel about game 2 Clippers Nuggets?
I want to say it's bad for the Nuggets, but look, I would rather win ugly than lose close. So the Nuggets didn't play well, but they still got the W. What I would be concerned with is the Nuggets aren't a good defensive team. So if the Clippers had 20 turnovers, probably most of those were of their own doing. I would say this series, more than anyone in the first round, looks like a 7-game series. I think it's far from over. I thought Kawhi Leonard, in terms of how he played overall, might have played one of his worst games. I think Kawhi had like 7 of those turnovers by himself. Like he was forcing too many times trying to make something out of nothing when he should have just kept the ball moving. I expect to see a better version of him in game 2. Look, the crazy part is late in the game, the game's on the line. It's close, and Russ makes a key 3, right? And people are going through the roof, and it's a great moment for him. But the Clippers played that perfectly. They got the ball right where they wanted it to go. You want Russell Westbrook shooting the ball. You do. You don't expect it to go in. It just went in.
Will, how we feel about it, man? What adjustments do they need to make to pull this series off? Or do you think that Mike Malone being gone is going to cost the Nuggets this series?
I like the Clippers came in. I thought they came ready to play, so to speak. You keep the turnovers. Most of them were self-inflicted. You take those turnovers away, the Clippers could have won this game. That was the difference. Would you guys consider this to be an upset if the Clippers won this series?
Not really. Not to me.
Me neither. Joker's gonna get his regardless. That's just a given. But if you take away the turnovers, keep Kawhi, keep James Harden playing at a high level. And again, I think Kawhi will have a bounce back game. You keep those guys playing at this high level, Joker's gonna get his, if you can somehow contain Jamal Murray and keep Russ shooting the basketball, Clippers can win this series.
And don't forget, Joker had a good game statistically, but Big Z basically played him even. Big Z had 20. If Big Z is going to give you 20 and 10, that can offset what Joker does. Like whenever Joker's taking 24 or more shots, that means you're making him more of a volume scorer. And that's not really how he likes to play. So I think that I think the Nuggets have a better starting five, but I don't think they have a better overall team.
Clippers got a better team, and another thing that's going to come, I think, into fruition too. The Clippers bench, I think that might come into just a little bit, might come into fruition because I don't think the Nuggets bench outside of Russ can really hold their own, and that might be the difference for the Clippers.
Well, I'm not coming to you on this one. You're going to go second. 117-95. The Lakers fall game one. Lakers fall game one to the Timberwolves, man. And it did look good for the Lakers. Luka put up 37. Will, how we feel about this, man? Lakers still got the series in control, man.
I don't think you see the Timberwolves shoot that way. They shot 50% from the field. And look at how he's shooting from three.
I don't think said Ant-Man got to give 40. He gave 22. Now McDaniels gave 25 and Reed gave 23.
I don't think they shoot that way as a team again. Despite the Lakers' woes on defense, I don't think they shoot that way again. That wasn't. I think that was an aberration. I think you see in game 2, LeBron's gonna play better. Luka's gonna give you what he gave you. Austin Reeves will come ready to play. It's gonna be. I think it will be more of a high scoring series from this point forward because neither team is that great on defense. So it's gonna. I think from this point forward, Lakers in 5, but every game from this point will be a high scoring game.
Mo, let's talk about these Lakers, man. How you feel about the T-Wolves Lakers game?
Look, the best thing about the playoffs is there's always somebody who steps up that you don't see coming. I mean, and that could be to the benefit of your team or the detriment. First, let's start off with this. The Timberwolves are one of the best defenses in the NBA. I think they're top 5 or 6. So the way they play, even though they're the younger team, they don't run, they grind you out. That's how they play. So they're a good defensive team, but look, coming into this game, I just need guys to be who they really are. So look, if Jaden McDaniels is going to score 25 points, we're getting swept. We're getting swept. And if he's going to score 25 points a game, the Lakers are getting swept. Jaden McDaniels averages 12.
Oh, you got a Lakers fan, man. Where's the faith at, bro?
Let me finish. Jaden Daniels averages 12 points a game. He doubled up his season average. Jaden Daniels shot 100% from 3. He shoots 33% from 3 on the season. He is a bricklayer. If a bricklayer is going to score 25 points, we're going to be in trouble, clearly. So what I believe is this. It was a great game 1. Do I think Jaden Daniels and Naz Reid are going to average 40? Matter of fact, I'll go you a step further. I'll cut it in half. Do I think Jaden Daniels and Naz Reid will combine for 36 points a game the rest of the series? No, that's not
it's aberration. That's aberration.
That's not who they are. That's not who they are. And look, can LeBron play any worse? Right? Like he was you didn't even know he's on the floor most of the time. Could he play worse? I doubt.
Play second fiddle to Luka, man. I think
here's the thing that bothered me too. Here's the thing that bothered me too. Did you see him interact with the referees the way that he did during the game?
He whining.
I'm like, bro, stop whining, bro. Play the game.
That's LeBron, man. You got to talk to the refs, man.
Hey,
bro, that was a foul. I need one.
You know what kills me about the whining? You watch the whining because someone put their hands on him, and that's the same guy people say if he played in the 90s. If you're whining and you play in the Candyland era, I don't want to hear about what you would do in the 90s. I
don't know. I seen
6'9",
LeBron.
You're
He,
whining.
but we
I don't
seen
want to hear it.
we seen LeBron without the whining when he first
You
came in the
whining
league,
at
man.
6'9", 265 pounds. Come on, man.
And we seen LeBron when he wasn't whining when he first came in the league. He was over there high flying over top of guys. He even dunked on a few people, but
he played 2 years, and he played 2 years in the hand checking era. 2 years, not 8, 9, or 10.
Yep.
2 years. 2 years.
I mean, yeah, yes and no, because when they played,
it's not yes and no. It's a fact. He played 2
2
years in the head checking era.
I mean, they still let it get off a little bit, especially when the Cavs played
The
Boston.
man's been in the league 22 years. He spent 20 years playing in the Candyland era.
You don't remember that series with the Cavs and the Celtics when it was a little physical? LeBron went up for a dunk over KG, but it looked like he ain't dunk because KG pushed him up off him, man. But he still threw it down. I mean, it was still a little physical in the game. Just a little bit.
We defending LeBron.
I remember him taking his jersey off and leaving.
I know we ain't defending LeBron.
I remember that.
Hey,
take that jersey off.
LeBron is on the Lakers, man. And I want the Lakers to do the best they can. But
I do too.
I still know they I know the agenda's in play. And I don't know when it's gonna go into effect.
Stop. Don't do that. There's no agenda.
Hey, but for real, I need to see Austin. I need AR to do more. I really need him to do more. Look, Rudy Hashimura, Gabe Vincent, y'all got to give more effort than what you did last. Come on now.
I mean, I agree with you about that, but I would say this: your stars have to make the others better. That's why you're stars. And everybody's pointing out that Luka had 36, 37 points. Sure, he did, but he also was horrible on defense. They don't show that during the ESPN highlights. He was horrible on defense. He blew too many coverages. If you're going to be horrible on defense in the playoffs, you're not going to win. So look, I don't need Luka to be locked down defender. I don't need him to be what he can't be, but I do need him to compete harder on that end of the floor. If the Lakers are going to win, their best defense against a team like Minnesota is going to be their offense. They've got to be better on offense so that Minnesota can't grind them down the way they did, because Ant was good, especially late, but they didn't need him to be great because McDaniels and Naz Reid were punching up. Like, if they're going to punch up like that, like I said, if they're going to punch up like that, the Lakers are getting swept.
And one thing too that hurts the Lakers as well, they have no rim protection. So
they got Jackson Hayes running up and down the floor. They got him running up and down the floor, getting good cardio.
Good cardio too. He gonna be over there with Kyle Kuzma, Shanghai Sharp. He'll be right over there with him.
Nothing else. He's fit. He's very fit.
Let's move on to the next, fellas. Let's move on to the next, man. Should we apply the most mercy rule to teams that have no business being in the playoffs? You know who I'm talking about. Let's get into it, man. I'm talking about them Grizzlies, the Magic, and them Heat. They got punched, Mo. Why are they even in the playoffs? Because Grizzlies look bad. But Josh said in the interview, hey, we gonna bounce back. It ain't gonna happen again.
Right. So it's easy to say we're gonna bounce back after you lost by 50, because that just means the next time you lose, if you lose by 20, you got better. so they'll definitely bounce back. They'll definitely be better. I don't see them being worse than getting beat by 50. Look, they're in the playoffs because the alternative was the Mavericks playing. And look, the Mavericks with Anthony Davis and a bunch of dudes, we knew for sure that was a sweep. I think Oklahoma City's going to win this series fairly easily. The only question is Minnesota gonna, or is the Grizzlies gonna show a heartbeat, right? Like, my problem with the Grizzlies is John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane. You've got a trio who can play at a high level, and you got a deep bench. Teams get blown out in the playoffs. That happens sometimes.
They have no coach.
But for you to lose by 50, that's not about how good the other team is. That's about you quitting. When you lose by 50, you quit.
Did they just not have the coaching adjustment to keep them in the game?
No, they got their star, their best player is a front runner. That's their problem. Their best player is a front runner.
Will,
That big three for the Grizzlies has got to be better. And I see where Mo is coming from, because when you get blown out by 50, then you question your team's heart. That whole team, you question that whole heart. And to get a professional team to lose by 50, come on now. Ja needs to be better. We know Ja can be better. Jaren Jackson Jr. is out there doing cardio. Desmond Bain out there putting up bricks. You got to be better, man. This is the time for you to show up and show out. And they did the exact opposite. And it's disappointing because, like Mo said, that team is deep and they can play. But again, they just came out there lethargic, not ready. Hopefully in game 2, they can turn it around. I don't see that, but hopefully they can at least make it a little bit more competitive. Lose by 25.
To Carmack's point, they lost by 50. You can't blame it on your former coach, can you? You know what I mean? Like somewhere their former coach is sitting somewhere in a bar going, they wouldn't have lost by 50 with me.
That's hard, man.
I don't think
that's
they would have.
All heart. That's all heart.
Would have been closer. Nah, I think it was coaching because they letting Ja do whatever he want out there. The assistant coach is now running the team, and Ja don't care. Ja is out there doing what he wants.
But that's the problem.
He's looking for highlight plays.
But that's the problem. But that's the problem.
And TikTok real videos.
But that's the problem.
I don't think he's a franchise player.
No.
Well, he was a franchise player, man. He was on the
No. They were. I get it. He's a walking highlight reel, and people thought he was on pace at one point to be the face of the league. I'm telling you, he's not a franchise player. He's not.
He definitely ain't a leader.
He is not a franchise player.
He definitely ain't a leader. Who's the leader of that team, Mo?
Ja's the leader of the team.
Then they don't have any leadership. He's not a leader.
He's
the leader of the team.
If he's the leader,
right? If he's the leader, that's why they got beat by 50, because he's the leader.
So, since nobody thinks the Miami Heat should be in the playoffs, is this good experience for them to see what leader emerges in the Heat? You know, between Hero, Bam, and them, see what the Heat can build around.
Sorry for Bam.
I don't have a problem with Miami. Look, Miami has the same problem that a lot of teams in the NBA have. They're actually set up really well.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a guy who's a perfect number 2. They've got another guy who's a perfect number 3. The problem is they don't have a number 1. They don't have that guy. Tyler Hero would be a great complimentary sidekick to an elite number 1. Bam is a terrific player, but he's a modern day Horace Grant. He can't carry you. He can help you win, but he can't carry you. That what Miami lacks is they don't have a franchise player to put those two guys around.
They're in the hall. They're in the hall of the hall of the very good.
They're both very good players,
but they don't have. As Mo would say, they don't have an alpha. They don't have an alpha that can carry them through. They don't have that. And that's what they need to really give them over the hump.
But that's what I'm saying. They in the playoffs finally without Jimmy. Do you think that one of them is going to emerge as an alpha this year?
I don't think any of those guys on that team are capable of reaching that point.
No Bam or Hero? You don't think neither one of them can step up into it?
I think they can both play well, and they're still going to probably lose in 5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I say, they're in the hall of the very good players, very good team. They're set up the way you want to see your team set up, but they're still short.
So, Will, despite losing, maybe the second quarter in a big way, man, the Rockets played fairly well against the Warriors, man. I mean, Steph was going off, but Sengun stepped up, put 26 on the board for them. They only lost by 10. They still played very good for a young class. Well, how you feel about the Rockets against the Warriors?
They need to get more consistent. They need to be more consistent in what they do on offense. They need to go out there, show a constant, consistent ability to score the basketball. Defensively, they're going to be fine. They're young, they're athletic, but they need to be more consistent in scoring the basketball. You saw that yesterday.
Sengun was scoring that rock?
But the rest of the team wasn't.
I mean,
the rest of the team wasn't.
I think that was supposed to be their main scorer. He ain't do nothing out there, man.
No,
they are who they are. We've We've been talking about this the whole entire season. We even thought at the trade deadline they might make a move. This is their starting backcourt for the season. Fred VanVleet shoots 37% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Green shoots 42% from the field and averages 21 points. With me, he's a volume scorer. Your backcourt is the most inefficient backcourt in basketball. They're bricklayers. If your backcourt are bricklayers, your team is built to get knocked out in the first round. They are a perfect seed for the Warriors. I want to know, is there anybody that picked Houston to beat Golden State? Anybody? Let me know. Because there's no way nobody picked Houston. Not even Houston picked Houston to beat Golden State.
I thought
On
Houston
any
might
given
be,
Sunday, Mo.
I thought Houston might give teams a problem because of their defense. But that wasn't even the case yesterday.
Well, the defense isn't the issue because you can look at the score of the game. The defense was fine. Even with Steph and Jimmy Butler getting off, Houston did their thing defensively.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with Houston is they don't have a closer. They're not an efficient team. Like, think about this: Thompson, Brooks, Smith, Tari Eason. They have athletes across the board, but none of them are natural scorers. They're finishers. Yeah. Jalen Green is the one scorer, and Gary Payton Jr. locked him. He looked like his dad last night, completely locked him down. Like, he had Jalen Green giving the ball. Fred VanVleet, I don't think he's made a shot since he left the Raptors. He's horrible.
He's terrible.
He's horrible.
Terrible.
Talk to me, man. I want to get to it before we head out. The Knicks and Pistons, Jalen Brunson. Hey, come on, man. 34 points, Cat 23 and 11. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Pistons veteran stepped up with Cade to help him, try to do something. But come on, talk to me, man. What we feeling about the Knicks right now?
It's funny because Brett and I were both going back and forth on Pistons Knicks. At one point we were like, I think the Pistons could win. And I'm not saying that they still can't, but in the end, we both decided we would go with the Knicks experience. We would go with Jalen Brunson and company. The game played out kind of how I expected to play out. But look, the Knicks got a big boost from Cam Payne. Like, again, it's one of those things. You do your scouting report, you can do everything right. And the Pistons didn't play their best game, but defensively, I thought they did almost everything right. And then a guy that doesn't normally score anything, Cam Payne, comes out there and he can't miss. It happens. I think this is a 7-game series. I think it's a great first game one win for the Knicks. But if anybody that doesn't think this is going to be a long series, you didn't watch the game.
Well, Knicks Pistons, man. How we feel about it?
The Knicks won the game. That just ruined my day. Just ruined my daggone day. I hate the Knicks. I hate them. But that being said, I think it's a 7-game series too. The Pistons are a young team, but they're all coached they're coached very well. I do think this is going to be a 7-game series, and because both these coaches can adjust. So I think that's what you see. Look, Jalen Brunson is going to get his. I just can't wait to see the adjustments to see what the Pistons can come up with to try to contain him somewhat. And Cat's gonna be Cat. He's gonna show up 1 minute and not be there the next. So we'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is closing out our hour. It has been a very eventful morning with WrestleMania and NBA. Will, do you have any closing remarks for our people?
I will be back tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern for the Sports Report podcast, Wire to Wire. Y'all come out and catch me then.
All right, Mo. It's always a pleasure with both of you guys. Mo closes out, big dog.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. Make sure you check out all the great content we have at Wire to Wire Network. Wire to Wire Network, we appreciate you.